Yes, I love the Philippine culture and the people. Yeah, I mean, listen, they all their fruits and vegetables on in the farms, and they come in, they load up their once. I mean, things grow so fast down there. They have two or three crops every season. It's not even a season. They have a bit of a rainy season, then a hot season, and it's just tropical. And so they have in a fiscal cycle of a year or 12 months, whatever they want to call it, they'll have three or even four harvests. Okay, so there's always food, organic foods, and like I said before, the it's not the cauliflower that is big blown up and it's full of GMO and they got big strawberries like this. No, everything's very very tiny and whatever because it's all done naturally. So I mean, you'll have a broccoli that big, you'll have cauliflower this big. Okay, and that's the way it should be. Those are baby shoots that are coming out, and they will harvest them right away. Uh, so everything is getting the great nutrients that you need, and I just feel so much healthier when after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I feel like I've been cleansed out naturally. How you doing, Lee and Jean? Good to see you. Yeah, John Claude, that's another copycat. He's a Canadian. He has a broadcasting situation with him and Janine Perro. Good people. I don't agree with a lot of their stuff. Not a lot. I don't agree with some of it, but they got a good station. Thank you, Stargazer. Good to see you. And Billy 64. Yeah, we getting such a huge following. It's great, and that's why it's I have to stay on as long as they allow me to stay on. And like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only, and everybody has to. I recommend everybody do their own research. And yeah, how you doing, King from Jaren from Norway? Good to see you. On Anders or Anders. What about Israel? Well, yes, they're saving that for last. Iran right now, basically, when Iran comes down, Israel will go down. So basically the same time. 17 said they were being saved for last. Well, Iran, they're all in a nutshell. We're like, this is the end of the end, so to speak. I believe how this, how I think it's going to go is you're going to have a what was okay. It would be the bonds people will be doing it, getting their money and cashing all that in covertly because everybody's going to be under an NDA with non-disclosure agreement. They'll have to sign that. It will be a military NDA for what, 30, 60, 90 days. Who knows how that's going to last, but you cannot say anything or it could jeopardize the money that you're getting. Okay. So loose lips sink ships. Remember that. Also, the Tier 4B, I believe, is going to be kicked off pretty quick. Now, I went down, I think it was Friday, and checked with my bank to see if they were still able to sell Vietnamese dong, and it's still on the computer, and I was able to buy. So I bought $100 worth, which is about 1.7 point some odd million dollar dong for $100. Now that's Canadian, right? It'd be more if it was American. How you doing, Clarabelle? And Wilma, good to see you. And John McLeod. DJ Martin and Kobe. Hey, Jax. Jet Li. Or Jetji, I guess. Yeah. A little bit difficulty seeing the names. Jack, how you doing? Zinkra. Hey, Spinner. Yeah. Well, like I said, Israel is tied up in the same scenario. Like you have to, let's jump into this a little bit. BB is 2.0. He was taken out long time ago. And, as you maybe see through your divine research that divine people out there have been doing, you're going to see, you will have seen, Trump in many different forms of walking, doing his thing, and whatever. But there's about 7 or 8 Trumps. And I think 2 were assassinated, 2 clones or whatever they were assassinated that the deep state claims or whatever. But, you have to, everybody gets, I know it's hard to do, but everybody gets wrapped up in the movie that's happening. And what our job is to do is basically step out of the movie, watch it play out. Do not, physically or mentally get engaged in it. Okay? This is for the sleepers to wake up. Everything out there is for the sleepers. Now, that being said, they have got it's kind of like a Schumann resonance. And this new calculation thing that they're able to do, I think it's part of the quantum financial system, or the data that's operating it, basically like the Schumann resonance, is saying that there is about 200 to 300 people per minute waking up. Now, every 60 seconds, that's 200 or 300 people. You say, well, God, that's never going to get done. But if you times 60 by 200, that's 12,000 people per hour waking up. So you times that by 24. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? It is moving very fast. Okay, so for every hour that goes by, night and day, there's 12 to 14,000 people waking up on this planet. That's exactly. I think we're on cue. We're on time. And yes, there might be, when you go down to the old coffee shop, and I just can't sit with the old guys, right? I just cannot sit with them because they are too brain dead for me. They just talk about stupid shit. And I have a higher, I don't have any tolerance for that. And I have a higher, I'm not going to say I have a higher IQ. I just have a higher awareness of what's going on and more things and more important things that we should be talking about. How you doing, Frank Papa? And Billie Jean, good to see you. Cheryl, yeah. Chow Mein, yeah. How are you? Chop. Stevens, yeah. Good to see you. And Jillian, yeah. Twinkle Toes and Tommy. Yep. How you doing, Frank? Yeah. Sweaty Bob. I don't know if he's in the house. 1886. I feel you programming asleep. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Johnny Rocket's in the house. How you doing? And GP and Nelson. Geez, I'm getting through this pretty good. Hey, Scott. And I think it was Nazareth, Home, Trumpster, and Roxanne, Stephen. I'm seeing names that I haven't seen before. Laura, Lori, and Icebeak, Aneki, and Williams, C.R. Williams, Cheryl. All welcome, all part of the family. Tap people, show you up. Bolton, Ontario. Tap people's show. Some love from all above. Thank you. Yeah. I'm just trying to focus in. Yeah. Hey, Ghislaine. Maxwell is one of the McCain's dinner guests. Oh, yeah. In Portugal. That's part of the movie. It's to wake up. Like I said, we should be the ones in the audience with the popcorn. And I know if you're, let's move out of the popcorn and maybe have another type of menu going. But we should just be in the audience watching the show and waiting for all this stuff to happen. Like, we are so far ahead of this game just because we're awake of what's going on. And this thing here with that bald guy with the mask and his bottom side was open here. I mean, that was done intentionally to try to wake up and every time they do that, it wakes up, millions of more people saying, hey, what's this all about? Why is this guy wearing a mask now, eh? They're starting to question everything, right? Yeah, good day to you. Armando, good day. Yep. I'm 73 and can't sit with old people either. Yeah, they're too brainwashed. Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying, brother. Or sister. Yep. I've given up trying to explain things. And they're, I just sooner just go in there and get my coffee and come back here, and talk to family patriots. Okay. Bird flu, drones, ticks, media. That's what they're throwing at us right now. So don't get yourself in a tither or, diapers in a knot, anything like that, because of what's going on. Okay. A lot of this is just show. Now, I don't know about the tick thing is concerning. But let's see how this plays out. Anytime they're doing all this shit, they're just exposing themselves, and they are being arrested, and they are going straight to the YMCA. Okay. This isn't the train station anymore. They're going right straight to the YMCA, and it's going to be a very, very short fuse when they get there. Okay, these Solus Demonics have been controlling. Now, this is why it's taking so long, okay? These LIZ, okay, ARDS, okay, have been controlling this planet for over 10,000 years, okay? They have built a web on millions of different levels of our society, right from top leadership of countries and states, right down to the garbage man that picks up the garbage on the street. Nothing taken away from the garbage man. That's a very important role. But what I'm saying is that these LIZ, ARDS, okay, and it's going to take a while to get this thing cleaned out. Okay, now they have been taking all the top leadership down now. Okay, we're watching and they have, those top leadership and maybe 5 layers down in each country has already been taken over. Okay, they've been taken down, and these actors have been put into place to wake up the country itself. Okay, they're still performing their same bullshit. And of course, you've seen where a perfect example is about the Cubans and the Cuban freedom fighters. And that is everybody. Their kids are out on the street, and they're not just protesting. They're going right into the parliaments and their these Congress homes and everything else, and burning them down. And these Congress people and leaderships and whatever, they're on the run. They're on the run in Cuba, and the Philippines is starting to, you do not want to get that nation up in arms. And I'll tell you right now, I was around when when Ferdinand Marcos and his crazy wife, the shoe woman, had to leave and escape the palace in a helicopter. Okay, in the Reagan years, I saw it, and they fled to Hawaii with all the stolen riches and everything else. Now, him and Reagan, Ferdinand and Reagan were pretty good people. And, Reagan said he was a very, very wise man. Obviously, he wasn't. Because, he was a thief. I don't care how smart you are. And if you're a thief and a liar, you're a thief and a liar. That's it. And God, you're going to have to answer some very, very tough questions to God. Okay. Story. Nobody is above, all these man-made laws. And I can get into religion, whatever, all this other stuff, and say some derogatory stuff that would really upset a lot of people that follow the Bible and all this other stuff. I'm going to leave that on the shelf, okay, and I'm going to wait for other people to talk about it. But I'm a spiritual being. I'm a man who is free, okay? God has, by me having this spiritual connection with God, allows me to be free, and my own temple is my own destiny. I am the one that judges. I am the one that can walk free as long as I'm not out there harming anybody else. And everybody else out there that claims the same thing is also free, okay? You're free from this man-made matrix that is going on here that means absolutely nothing, okay? Because if they are telling you or trying to intimidate you to do harm to other people, you are doing the LIZARDS work, okay? You're doing their work, and you don't want to do that, okay? Now, and why it's taking so long, okay? They were the same, these LARZ, okay, have been taken. They're the ones, they're same ones that have taken down the Atlantis, the days of the era of the Atlantis, the era of the Tartarians, okay? Same people, okay? We should be 10,000 years advanced, but we're not, because we've been suppressed, we've been shackled, and we've been poisoned, and we've basically been enslaved. It's an open air prison. And we shouldn't trust anything. Do not trust anything about the Matrix. Absolutely zilch. Okay? So, they're the same people that are in there, and I concur with what Gene Decode is saying, is that it's going to take, it's taken the last 10 years to clean up this mess. The top 5 tiers of this assault, and LARZ, ARD, matrix that they have developed, and we're tearing it all down. Okay, this isn't the thing that's going on in Iran or Iraq or Israel or anything like that. It's not war. It's a clean out. As I said before, it's an absolute clean out. Okay, so now we have some good news. Silver this summer, $300, and quite frankly, it can go to $2,500. They're going to have to bring all that down, back down to not a 60 or 70 to 1 ratio against gold. They're going to have to bring it down to 12 to 15 ratio to 1. And that's going to be where the manipulation comes off. And that's basically where it's been that way when they didn't have the manipulation on it. Okay, so you're seeing when it does hit that, it'll be $350 to $500 silver. And we will know that'll happen, because once that does happen, that'll be end of the be the end of the petrodollar. The petrodollar is being replaced by the gold back standard. End of story. There's no doubt in my mind. And when that does happen, it's going to be jubilee and party time. Okay. Now, Tier 4B, like I said, the Tier 4B and bonds people will go down first, okay, before the NESARA GESARA. Now, people have been asking, when NESARA GESARA, when is all this happening? It's already been happening around the world. Many, many things have been taken down because of that. Many people have not had to pay their loans, their credit cards, their mortgages, all these other things. They've been slowly implementing it out there, okay? And that's what's been happening. Any questions out there? How you doing, Don? Aloha. When will the movie end? Well, that's what we're working on right now. I think it's already, we're at the doorstep right now. When Iran signs this thing, whatever going on, to sell the oil throughout the world, it's not about the petrodollar. That's what you're seeing in this matrix. You're seeing, Trump out there saying, well, we're going to keep the petrodollar alive. No, we're going to be basically, you see this printing press that was out there, And it shows that it looks like a US dollar. It's a $100 bill, and it's got his picture on it with his signature, right? And he's basically doing basically a sneak attack, saying, well, that's the US dollar, which is not. It's a US gold-backed treasury note. That's what it is. So he's printing it out and he's showing it right now. That's a very, very obvious calm that is happening right now, okay? And we're watching it all unfold. We're watching it being printed right now. Greetings from Malaysia. Welcome. Hello from Pennsylvania. How you doing? Yeah, howdy. Hey, Loch Ness. Dennis Francis is in the house. Lots of love. Thank you very much, Dennis. Hey, Michael. Keeps questions in capitals. Thanks, Enrico. Hey, Moss. Hey, Zach. Yes, I know the movie needs to end. Where I know, I get it. Like I said, what's going to happen in London right now? They're basically that whole regime is coming down. There apparently there was two portals. One was underneath the White House where they had to take it out. That was underneath the now ballroom that has been made up. They had to take it all down. That was all done militarily. So they took all that out. And, they put a ballroom on top of it. Now, the biggest portal on the planet, that basically it's the center of the spider web of all these tunnels and gateways and all this other stuff, was in Utah. Okay? That's in Utah. Well, the RV, like I said, the RV is all part of it comes in right after the EBS. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that are the anomalies that are happening right now. I mean, the matrix is coming down. I got a question here that, is it true the Malaysia plane went through the portal? I didn't hear anything on it right now, but, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that's going on. And, we have portals all over this beautiful planet. Now, whether they've been implemented, by the Galactics, whether they're negative or positive, I don't know. Hello from Connecticut. Good to see you. But don't put anything out there as a science fiction, because none of it's science fiction. It's all fact. And we're going to see things with our own eyes and our own mind. And, we're going to maybe be able to see it with our eyes. We're going to be able to maybe even touch it with our feel. But our minds might not be able to accept it. And that's what I'm trying to prepare everybody for. And speak of preparation, listen, this is so easy to do. Even me, I can do this in my own little camper. Because I've got a sink right behind me here. It's lowered down. I got one of those deep, what do you call those deep, 18-inch deep sinks. They're the new ones that you put in there, and I can pour water in there and do my dishes and wash and whatever I'm doing, right? Okay, but everybody has hot water, okay? Go out there and find yourself a nice rubber tub, whatever. Even a stainless steel would be better. And put your hot water in there along with some Epsom salts or any type of salt. You can even use the processed, the old garbage salt or whatever, because that's easy to get. It'd be better if it was coarse salt. You can buy that. That's really cheap, okay? The water's cheap, okay? Then you put hydrogen peroxide. That's cheap, okay? Baking soda. That's cheap, okay? Put the hot water in your bucket, whatever, and then stick your feet in there and read a book or play on your device, whatever you're going to do, for 30 minutes before bed or in the evening after supper, okay? Once you get the dishes done or throw them in the dishwasher or whatever, then say, I'm going to run some water to soak my feet. Now, we can do that with our whole body in a tub, and that's great. But the feet is where all the big pores are, and that's why you have to have it as hot as you can stand it. Okay, and I did it last night, and I have a lot of metals in me because I seen the water get dirty. Okay, I only had my feet in there for I believe it was 15 minutes, just because it was the position I was in. I got to change things around. But then when I got out, wiped them down, there was nothing else in there except the salt, and the hydrogen peroxide. And I believe I stuck in something else. I can't remember. But that being said, I put a little bit of baking soda in there. And of course, it's going to make it a little bit milky. But you're going to start seeing you drawing out all the metals out of your body. And that's what we need to do because, of course, with all this frequency shit going on in the world right now around, we don't even know where it's coming in from. Your ears are going to be ringing as mine are now. And we're going to be seeing all kinds of stupid things that are happening. And it's all to do with this frequency. You're going to be feeling very weird sometimes or whatever. So the less metal and detox or contamination you got in you, the more your body will be able to react to it. Okay. Yeah. The shower in my hotel is huge. Well, that's good. But what I'm saying is we need to go out and, you can go to a, what do you call it? Salvation Army, thrift stores or whatever, and see if you can buy, or even garage sales and see if you can, find old steel foot baths and use them. Plastic's not that good, right? Plastic is, I went out there and bought a spatula, and it was plastic. I says, and I bought it for like $2, and I said, and I walk out the door and I said, well, why did I buy that? I just, plastic, it's bad. But it was something that came on. It was like God telling me, and he, and of course I start hitting my device again, and it told me that, how bad plastic are when you're cooking. And I'm going, of course, right? Like we all forget, right? And so I got to go back, and go find another, stainless steel. Yeah. Hey, Care Bear. Randy, how you doing? Connie, good to see you. Caddies. Lewis. Yep. I heard there won't be an EBS. Is that true? Well, your guess is as good as mine, but we're going to see eventful things happening. There is no dates and rates that are happening right now. We're going to see a lot of events unfold. And all these, symbolisms that they've put out there are all going to come down. Everything. We're talking, could be the Golden Gate Bridge, according to Trader Q Girl. Could be the Statue of Liberty. Could be other, areas that could be taken out. I don't know. But this world will change, and this is going to be very traumatic for a lot of the leftovers that are out there that are not awake yet, right? So if we see it coming, we're expecting it come. It's not going to be no big deal. San Antonio, Texas, how are you doing? These are orbs spraying us with the chems. Well, we're watching a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and like I said, let's not get emotionally and physically involved in this. This is not for us. This is for the sleepers that are still asleep, warrior. Okay. But I know what you're saying. It is concerning, but I just don't think they have as much control as we think, or most people think they do. I think they're basically coming to a gunfight with chopsticks. Okay. They know it's the end for them. Hey, Jed and Jimmy. Emily. Yeah, we're going to be overwhelmed. It's the sleepers that'll be overwhelmed. How you doing, Phyllis and Glennis? It's not us. We're going to be watching the show. We have to bring this whole matrix down. This whole thing has to come down because it was all built by the LARZ. You know what I'm talking about? Let's just call them the Z's. Okay, it was all built by them, and they're demonic minions that are still following them now. But these little minions that are running around in clone form or brainwash form or whatever basically have no leadership. Yeah, and that's why they're getting exposed. Now, like I said, every phone on the planet, okay, is being monitored, okay, and it's even more so now with this Golden Dome that's happening. They, I believe, are there. I mean, listen, if you're doing evil shit, then you're going to get caught. If you're doing things, I mean, they're going to get to the people that are hurting other people. They're going to get to them. Okay? That's just the way it said. We're not going to be living in a negative world anymore. Okay? Hang in there. It's going to be wonderful. Glennis from Northern Ireland, how you doing? I'm doing great, sister. Yeah. Yes. Exactly, Scooter. If everybody doesn't know what's actually happening right now, whatever you don't know, you're soon to find out. Okay. And, I know there's going to be things out there that even I'm shocked about, but I'm trying to get as much information, which has been vetted information. And I'm really relying on people like Gene Decode right now, JCO, and other a few other sources that I cannot disclose that is happening right now. My thoughts on flat Earth? Good question. I put that on the shelf, but I think when you talk to the pilots, they say it's flat. Okay, and they're the ones that are flying around the world. They say it's flat. So, for me, that debate's up in the air, and but we will get full disclosure on that when it happens. There's no sense speculating on something you do not have evidence on, right? That's just my analogy. If I don't have proper evidence on something, it's only speculation until we got proof, right? And as far as the money goes and everything else, I know it's proof because with all the dots that had to be connected over the last 20 years, bringing this all together, that's the proof that I'm seeing right now, because what else are they going to do with it? They didn't steal all this gold and silver and take it off planet, or maybe they tried to, but that's not happening anymore. This stuff was found from World War I and before in these deep, DOMBs. Okay, that's what they were done, and that's and it's all been recovered because we see photographs and filming of it and all this stuff being, look at the pallets and pallets of money that was sent by Obama, right, over to Iran, and then all of that that's been recovered. Iran leadership, mullahs, have been a thorn or, a very, very terrible regime in the Middle East from all the countries. Okay? And now Big Daddy is in there, Big Daddy Trump is in there straightening it out. And if there was any threat on what he was doing, then you would have seen Xi Jinping or Putin jump in to try to stop it. But this all had to be cleaned out, and Putin and Xi Jinping know this very clearly. There is no, from what I'm understanding, there is no CCP anymore, and what there is left is scattered around the world, which will be cleaned up. For Canada, we don't see Chrystia Freeland anymore. We don't see, Trudeau anymore. I mean, we're only seeing, if they are there, they're only body doubles. They've all been taken off the chessboard, and you're going to see more and more of them being taken off the chessboard. And what Gene Decode says, I mean, we've been at this cleaning them up since 2000, and even I think it was even before. The military was involved cleaning up a lot of stuff, but of course they needed a leadership in there, which was Trump. Right? So this is where we're at. And we're going to see maybe 3 or 4, maybe, I'm hoping it's by the time Trump finishes his term and John F. Kennedy comes into his place, that, all this will be cleaned up. And you will not see JJ involved, President JJ Kennedy come to light until it is safe, okay? When I see him out and about doing his thing, as the new leader of the new world, then I know that we have broken their back and there is no more threat. I heard only 8% of the population will be left. Well, listen, I think that's very extreme. I don't think it's going to go that far. I think there is about 30% out there that will be taken off because they're negatives. Okay, 30%. Yeah, I am excited to learn at the Galactic School. Our DNA has all that information already embedded into us. Yes, very, very exciting news. Our DNA does not forget, and it's all going to be rebuilt. Okay, like a pristine 427. It's going to be running on all 8 cylinders, and we're going to that's going to give us life extension. Okay, because there will not be any disease. You eradicate the disease, and you got life extension. Okay, there's nothing that will harm you to kill you, and that's what they've been trying to do. They tried to, kill us through diseases and parasites. That's why I'm saying, by getting the hot water and get this detoxes out of you, okay? I believe by even detoxing yourself that way with these simple products, okay? Hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and salt, okay? And hot water, and soak your feet in there. You can do it nightly, 20 minutes nightly. Sitting there on your device, you're maybe at your desk, maybe just sitting on the couch or whatever. But that will drain the garbage out of you, okay? And you'll sleep like a baby. Although I never sleep like a baby, but you know what I'm talking about. How you doing, Jules? Sunny? Aimley, yeah. Oh, block Aimley. Okay, Free World, good to see you. Coffee. Will some of our diseases reappear? No, because there is a frequency out there right now. I'm looking at all kinds of little gadgets and all kinds of things that are basically all have the same apparatus. They're all, what do you call it? They all have a frequency about them that helps that particular part. Frequency is extremely important for healing our bodies. And these little devices out there, they're going to have little devices, you get a neck ache or whatever. They'll have a little device for the back of your neck. There's guys that have, the older guys have ED, okay? Now, there's devices for that as well now. And that repairs all your junk, okay? So, because we've been attacked by so many poisons, okay, that's happening. And, all it is basically to put these devices back in the hands of the people and, let humanity run with it, right? We have very, very smart people out there, and people will gravitate towards all kinds of new technology that's coming out. There's 7,000 new technologies that we're going to be able to embrace. Very, very cool stuff. I'm very excited for that. How you doing? Is it Shinebu? I'm sorry, I cannot see. How you doing, Heidi? Good to see you, dear. Well, that was your question. Thank you. Yes, all the diseases that are out there that we are, dealing with right now will be basically cleared. We won't have disease on this planet. hmm like cleaning up the oceans and the cities and anything like that. There is all going to be a process that humanity will be involved with, because you're going to have so much money to deal with it. And we're all going to be put into different groups that want to, save. There might be people out there who want to clean up the ocean and the plastics and all this other crap. You're going to be put in that and involved with many, many other people to do it. And you can do it on your own if you want, which is cool. And the more that they see you doing the things that you're doing, the more they're going to throw money at you, because you are part of the process, right? I'm going to try to get these questions. I want to try to answer as many questions as I can. Schools are government indoctrination camps. Yes, they are. And they're all going to come down. And anybody that has been doing harm, and when I say doing harm, I mean not just physically, I mean mentally as well. There's a lot of people out there that are narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopaths that, manipulate people and do things, and they will be, dealt with. I mean, I got a bit of I'm not going to talk about my family affairs, but I got a funny situation going on right now with my oldest daughter. She's my oldest child. Okay. She's 35 years old. And, it just, I thought she was a smart kid, but, she's been doing some really stupid shit. And she basically painted herself into a corner where she can't get out, and she's asking for help based on her situation for me to call her, and I said, and to get the number that I have to her so she can call me. And I says, the guy that had sent me the message through our connections, or through the grapevine. I says, well, how can I call her when she stole my phone? Just tell her that. There's people out there that will have to learn the hard way. And I'm not doing this because I'm a mean dad, because I have spent absolute tens of thousands on this kid, and before I woke up. So, it's not easy raising a kid, especially in these days and age, but we're going to be seeing this transformation. Don't give up on our reproductive, soulmate, loving ways that we do things, because and our reproduction, capabilities, because we're one of very, very few species in this universe that are able to do that. So, and this is what the Z's tried to suppress and tried to poison out of us. Okay. And this is why you see all this negative crap going on right now. And, with these drugs and everything else that are twisting people's minds and making them, basically real stupid. So, you're going to see, once we clear up all this, negative energy, you're going to start seeing, and, people are going to want to go out there and have many, many babies. And I've always encouraged it. I've had 5 children. I've adopted 1, but I've had 5 children. I put in my I did my duty for humanity, and it hasn't gone without me. It cost me a pile of money, but it's not easy to raise a child in this matrix. They say it's up to $300,000 by the time they hit 18. $300,000 by the time they hit 18. But when we get to the other side, okay, it will cost you nothing, okay, because everything will be free. You'll be rich, and you'll be able to have many, many kids, just like what the people in the Middle East, they'll have, and it's just going to be that way. This is my vision, and I might be out there. Maybe I might be out there too far, but if you want to listen to this stuff, I'm okay with it, right? I mean, but I believe that there is a certain trend going on, and it started back in the 70s. I saw it going back in the 70s and 80s, where you had this basic feminine movement. Maybe they were out there in the street and they were parading back in the 75 and 80, and they were ripping off their bras and throwing it off in the street, and they were throwing it off in the crowd. It was really a sight to be seen. I don't ever see any film on that anymore, but it was really quite funny. And we thought, they still had their shirts on and everything, but we thought that was just, wow, that's really getting out there crazy. They're throwing their garments out to the public, saying we're not going to wear this crap no more. That was the beginning of the feminist movement, okay? And then, of course, we fast track this thing to the days that we're in right now, and they have this momentum and this psychology, indoctrination, I believe, of women saying, we'd rather sleep with the bears than men. Okay, I mean, they're doing everything to separate the nuclear family. It was never like that in the 50s and 60s. It was, dad went to work, mom stayed at home with the kids, and they had a big family. And it was a wonderful thing. We didn't realize and appreciate what we had, even back then. Of course, we were poor, but and I feel for the women, in those days that could not have women, but they were the first ones to go out there and adopt a child, to say, I cannot have a child, but I'm willing to go out there and have, adopt these 3 beautiful or 4 beautiful children, and I'll raise them as my own. But you don't see that anymore, right? Most of the children nowadays don't even know who their father is. Okay? All that's going to change. Life is going to be such a precious moment in a precious environment that we're going to be following, and having people come together, okay? And as I'm seeing, okay, I'm not, I have a beautiful woman with a child, a late blooming child in the Philippines, and I cherish them and I nurse them, and everything's fine that way. But I am seeing more and more from a perspective, from an observation about how many millions, and I'm talking millions, of women that will not have a partner to reproduce, children. And I'm seeing a lot of them lowering their standards in order just to have a man. This is exactly what the Z's, the LARZI, what I'm talking about, right? Have done to humanity. And I'm going to see all that's going to change. Okay, so first of all, when the money does come, it's going to be self-healing for a lot of people that are in those situations. Okay, this is just what my perspective is, and I'm going to start seeing that when because you have to understand that we've had for tens of thousands of years have been integrated with a lot of negative, reptile, so to speak, DNA type men and women. Okay, we have a very bad negative strain in this, and this is why we end up, with these alcoholics and drug addicts and all kinds of things that are negative to our world. And we look at the world that we live in, you say, God, I'm not going to bring up a child in this world. I'm not going to see that. But if we change the world, okay, we change everything that's in our world to a positive, more beautiful heaven on earth, then people are going to want us, have more babies. And this is what, God has always wanted us to do. Okay, so I've never, this is just an observation that I'm seeing. And I'm a bit of a visionary of, things that are about to be or going to happen. Okay, and I'm seeing all this negative stuff here. We have to change our not just our environment, but our mindset about the negativity, because there are negative men and there are negative women, and the more of that we see on both sides, the more separation we're having, and it's becoming more difficult because men are visionaries. Like, we're a vision. We are visible beings. Okay, we focus in on the visibility of what's going on, and women have a paternal reproduction want. Okay, and all that's being separated. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to be this generation. I don't know, but I'm very concerned by how the direction in North America where this is all going, and you're seeing, a lot of distance between man and woman, and it's very concerning for me. I think we should be more populated. I don't think we're not even near. We're going to need our little star seeds for the energy of this earth. Otherwise, and we're going to have to raise them being aware of the dangers that are out there. Okay? So, yes, schools and governments are indoctrination camps, even universities at the highest point. I lost a boy, which is now 27 years old, which I have not seen in 10 years. And I don't expect to see him anytime soon because he went down a dark path when he hit the University of Vancouver, UBC. I told him not to go there. His mother said, it's okay, you go there, because that's where the fine arts and all the bullshit. No, it was nothing to do with fine arts. It was all about getting into the indoctrination. And that's the worst place. These cities are going to get cleaned up. I guarantee you these cities are, and I put a lot of skin into this game to try to make sure that this bullshit does get cleaned up, because this is not the world I was brought up in. What's happening right now, and I want everybody to understand very, very clearly that it was a lot better back in the day than it is now, and I'm, as you can rightly see, right? How you doing, Isaac and Shinebo? Sean. He rose up. Hey, Zinka. How you doing, Sheila? Thank you. What's going to happen to all the supermarkets? Well, they're going to get cleaned out. The shelves are going to get emptied. Everything that comes down, I don't think it's going to be as drastic as we probably expect. I'm just saying, prepare. Get your storage in order. Get your water, drinking water in order, and get a small generator you can plug a couple of items into. You can pick those little generators up at the hardware stores. Really nice little generators. I bought one like 4 or 5 years ago and it's still running great. And it gives me 2 plugins. That's all I need. And it's there ready to go at any given time. Right? So do that. I mean, these are things about prepping. And, I don't think there's going to be, a lot of baddies on the street. It could be for the people that are not prepared, but that's why the military's there, to hand out and make sure people are fed through this lockdown, whatever is coming. And if it doesn't happen, that's great, eh? JS, you can keep, good leader by being a good human. Yes, it's all by example. Okay. Do you think all the big stores will close? Yes, I do. I can't afford anything in the past 6 years. Broke. Yeah, it broke me too. I know. I wish I had $1 million out there and start kicking it out. I wish I had $100 million. I could start kicking it out into humanity right now just to help people. I pray for that so much, right? I don't need them. I mean, I've never asked for money on this platform that I've been on, but any money that, that I had received, I've kicked it out to the community, because it's I call it gravy money. Gravy money goes out to somebody else. Yeah, I don't need it. Everybody's doing their part, right? But the big stores will close, yeah, because they're corporations. Anything that's a corporation is going to come down. Their days are numbered, and they will soon be not exist. I've got 365 kVA generators. Yeah, well, there you go. And that's that you keep them, and just make sure they're all tuned up, they're oiled up, fresh oil. Get some gasoline cans, get them all filled up. I got a couple of I got a tidy tank on the truck, which is diesel. Then I got, other big cans or whatever for fuel, for a different type of fuel. How you doing, Cheryl? Yeah, thank you very much, Cheryl. Keep the comments and in capital letters and questions. I have a generator too, yeah, and takes propane and gas. Good for you. Excellent. Like I said, these are very, very simple things and very simple steps to prepare ourselves when the commander and the military decides to shut things down, because it's going to be a switchover. We cannot, you cannot just go, the lights flicker and then we go back onto a new system. It has to shut down, just like that movie Elysia. Okay, Elysium, right? Remember the movie Elysium? Where they, at the very, very end of the movie, they had to shut down that whole sphere, okay, in order to reboot for the new, and that was a calm. They were sending you out a message that this has to be done, right? And it could be a day, could be 3 days, it could be 3 weeks. I mean, I don't know. But it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, okay? How you doing, Mike Lee from Texas? Welcome, brother, in the house. Angelica. I'm sorry if I screwed up, messed up. Yeah, your name. Henderson, how you doing? Thank you. Yep. It's a lot of these things that we're doing right now is just as precaution to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and our families and stuff like that. Put some extra beans and whatever on the shelf. Like, listen, you know what? You can go down. I mean, this is a simple thing there. I was looking the other day, like, you can go in there and, these big mason jars and whatever. You can go down and, you got a crock pot or whatever. They want what, $2.50 to $3 for every can of beans. Okay. You can go down and buy a whole bag of beans for like $3. Okay. And if you put them in the pot with boiling water and you boil those beans, don't let them sit there to soak them up. No, you're going to do basically you're boiling the beans, okay? And then, of course, all that starch will come out of the beans, and then you strain that off, and then you can you hit them up another boil if you want, small boil, and then strain that off as well. But at the point, the third boil, they'll be ready for throwing all the goodies in there. And you can throw everything but the kitchen sink into that and get them all cooked up. And, of course, you take those canning, put them in water in a pot over the stove and with the canning jars and whatever. And there's all kinds of instructions for that. I mean, I don't have the facilities here to do it. But you can do stuff like that there and have wonderful dishes. To meats and steaks and I know things are expensive right now, but we might have to get away from the canned bullshit and start jarring our own stuff, and and this is going to be all good practice, a good education about preserving our foods, and people that have gardens and stuff like that, get active, get out in the garden. It's beautiful summer right now. Let's start digging another row for turnips or beets or onions or whatever you want to do, right? And if everybody's doing that, then everybody can be trading back and forth and all that stuff, right? Turn your backyard into a garden. I know it sounds like work, but like I said, it's going to be a lot more fun. You're going to be a lot healthier because you're working it, and you're going to feel very, very accomplished, and you're going to be eating your own food. I'm a big believer in that. Now, like I said, this is things that I have not done yet because I've sold all my properties in Canada because I seen this crap coming. I just seen it coming, and it's. I knew it wasn't. I knew it was going to be bad. I just didn't think it was going to be this bad. I didn't think it was going to get dragged out this much. I thought we were going to be out of this thing a year ago, and now I'm still here doing, my platform, and nothing is happening except, this evolution of freedom is coming. I see good things happening, but it's just not happening as fast as I want it to. I was hoping more people, would wake up faster than 12,000 people every hour. We have, if you take 30% of the negatives out of the 9 billion people we have on the planet, okay, that's 3 billion people gone. There's still 6 billion people on the planet. 12,000 an hour, you know what I mean? It's just not going as fast as I want it to. So that's my numbers that I'm working with. That's the numbers that keep popping back in my head, right? So, yes, we might have, 5 to 5.5 billion people that are, just sleepers, good people out there trying to make ends meet, working their 5 days a week, 6 days a week, coming home and totally exhausted. All they want to do is sit down with a beer and watch the ball game, or maybe do a little bit of barbecuing. It's the nuclear family has been broken down. Moms and dads are now mums and dads are having to go out and work, and then of course now you have infidelity in the families because the mums and dads are being separated, and that home foundation thing is being eroded. So I never saw that to that extent, and I see it everywhere here now. It's just absolutely brutal, and with everything that is going on in the world today, this is not what we want to see, right? How you doing, Tanya? My business is on its knees in Melbourne. Yes. Well, like I said, I know it's tough right now. Maybe, what I did. I shut down my business. I think I was 2 years ago. I shut down my side business, but all I live on is my pension now. And, if I got few things, a little bit of side stuff that I do, not very much. And I'm just kind of living under the radar right now, waiting for good things to come. Maybe if you got your business, whatever, and if it's on its knees, it might be the time to, look at liquidation, sell it all off, get as much cash as you got. Don't worry about your credit cards or your loans or anything you got. Maybe they're not going to lend you out any money anyways, so don't pay them back. And because it's all your money that you should have had was, they've taken it from your your birth certificate, okay? And they've lent you money, falsified documents, and used your trust fund that was attached to your birth certificate, and they've used that to trade on the open market and the stock exchange. Okay, and so anything that they have lent you, and then making you sign a contract is illegal. So why should you pay them back? And people, I've been doing this for 10 years now. I was saying that for 10 years now. Like I knew the game. I knew the game about all the finance and what they were doing, because when you do as many mortgages that I have done as a developer, you finally understand exactly, what the bullshit's all about. And quite frankly, I was just absolutely appalled. First, I was shocked. I'd say, well, how is this even working? Then I started digging into it, because for me, it was all about money, because money was survival to feed my children, right? And then I realized that, once I started seeing what was going on, I think the auditors came to my door in 2012. And, they forced me into bankruptcy based on having allegations of me owing them a mountain full of money. And I never, right? I always did my taxes. So at that point, I knew the war was on. I knew the battle was on. And I said, this is what the moves that we have to make. And my children were basically born at that, or were turning adults at that time. And we had to, basically, I put the business into hiding, and we put everything else up for sale, right? Because I knew that, once I hit bankruptcy, they'd be coming in and taking everything. So I did all that to get, to raise as much money. So, I mean, let's not sit there and wait for the bullet to hit us, or let's not sit there and wait for the inevitable to happen. If you have to make a move now to sell whatever you have to sell, then sell it. We're almost at the end of this thing. I believe money's coming before the end of this year. I believe it. Otherwise, if this thing takes too long and gets dragged out too far, then the negatives win. Okay. If it's done too prematurely, the negatives win. This thing has to be done just right. How you doing, Tanya? As many times as the other person is making it. Yeah, well, I understand. That's more of a comment. Ohio, konnichiwa from Japan. Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato. Aloha, Houston, Mr. Alexander. How you doing? Hola. Yeah. One day I will get down to Texas. One day, soon. I love that state. Everything they represent. I know what they're doing. They're good people down there. Strong backbone. Me too, Alex. Yeah, people are suffering. I know they are. And there's, I'm having a tough time with it here too. No income tax. Yeah. And like I said, that's right, Warrior. I mean, no money back, no guarantee. The thing is, we are in they are trying to steal as much money from us as possible. And they're using their old, illegal, made up matrix tricks to try to get the money from it. And it's only going to be the weak ones. And the weak ones will give up their money, because they want to be, they want to submit to this tyranny because they don't understand. And that's what these negatives are working on right now. This is what they live on. They're parasites, absolute parasites. And I said, why are we paying the parasites? Like, why are you paying your taxes? Why are you paying your mortgages? Oh, they'll come and take my house. So what? Sell it all off. Throw yourself into a situation where the government can't get you, or the banks can't get you. If you're in a tough situation now, why are you hanging on there and beating your brains out every night, worrying and stressing yourself out to a heart attack stage? To worry about this shit, and they say, oh, well, he's a failure as business. He's gone bankrupt twice. No, he's a freaking businessman. I've gone bankrupt twice too. I'm a developer. Trump was a developer. That's what happens. Shit happens when you get to a certain stage. They come after you. You're attacked, right? That's why I assimilate exactly what Trump's doing. And I said, finally, in 2016, finally we got a businessman and a developer in the White House to take care of this. And he sees it. He sees exactly what I'm seeing right now, if not more, because I'm not seeing the things that he's seeing. But he's a master tactician when it comes down to finance and knowing what these countries are doing, and he's exposing it all. So, like I said, there will be no tax. There will be no income tax. All this stuff is going away. He just shut down the Fed. Okay, he's put Warsh in there, but that's just a placeholder right now till they can move all the assets and finances, and because the Federal Reserve had the printing presses. Did you notice that when Walsh gets in there, as soon as the takeover was done, all of a sudden the printing presses go up and they're running? Okay, well that's a calm. I mean, they're telling you, hey, we got control of the printing machines now, and we're printing out gold-backed currency based on the mountains of gold that we have. And it's all going to be coming to the people. And I tell you, it's going to be a wonderful thing when they start, when you go to your bank after it does open, if they do survive this lockdown, and you go back to your bank, to their ATM, and you'll see that these new gold currencies are going to be popping out. And we in Canada might have the same, we might see Trump's face on these bills that come out in Canada and in all the other nations, because I believe there will be a super state, if you want to call it, or I'll call it the Western Kingdom of Greenland. I mean, Europe, I believe England and Europe and the Eastern Europe, Poland and Hungary and all that, from the Far East down there, will be all under the auspices of Christian nobility, and with the Russian people, and everybody's going to be in a very, very happy place. Listen, they are cleaning out the NAZIs. There's no doubt about it in my mind. We have NAZIs downtown, sitting in the executive desks at every bank inside of London. Okay? And that's all getting cleaned out. Who is behind all the power broker that goes back to the 10th century, even before even the days of the Vikings? England was flexing its muscles. It's had hundreds of years to spread its power, even to India, controlling the CCP and the communists inside China. They had all control of the proxies, and that's what Trump and the patriots in the world right now are bringing. They're bringing it all down. So once the power goes from these organizations or regimes, which they are now, you're going to see a brand new system come up, but it does have to get burned down. So, I agree with Gene Decode that we're going to be seeing a cleanup, maybe for another 5 or 6 years. But that's not going to change our world, okay? Our world is going to change because as the old is going out, the new's coming in at the same time. So we're basically replacing all the negative bullshit, right? How you doing, Sonny and King? It needs to end before the 4th hour of the 4th will be in chaotic shit show. Well, I get it, but we're doing fine so far. I mean, a lot of this stuff is being exposed right now, and it's not like the planet. We've always lived amongst it. It's just that it looks bad right now because it's all being exposed. But we've always had it live amongst us because their weapon was their invisibility. How you doing, Curly? And yeah, how you doing, Sherry? If it takes too long, the Galactics will be stepping in. Exactly. Ishmael said this as well. Thank you, Robert. Yes, we have our big brother up there. Galactics are waiting for the thing to happen, and this is not going to get played out for another 2 to 3 years. It's just not going to happen. We have come down to the finish line. Okay. And I believe lots is going to happen on or before July 4th. I'll be disappointed if it's not. I'll be really disappointed. by if it's not happening on July 4th. But I mean, if they're celebrating this thing, something dramatic is going to definitely happen. And I concur with Ishmael Perez, Robert. Yeah, I do. Hello to you. I'm in Texas, and I would love to meet you. Well, I would love to meet y'all too. I'd like to get to Texas and be part of the big celebration, because it's going to be large. I've never seen Texas, but from what I've seen on social media, I mean, I've loved Texas and the people there. I believe that they've, they are the, what all America should stand for. I believe they are a very, very proud people down there. And that goes back generations. Anybody that's, has that Texas mentality that's been brought up in those years, I believe that they're a lot like Albertans, with the big farms and the cattle and stuff like this. And they just have a different mentality, which is a positive, patriotic mentality, which I wish the whole country would be like that. The chief, you are looking for private conversation isn't helpful in this project. No. Well, I know. There's not going to be. This is a social platform to bring everybody together, so we can raise the vibration, and you basically, drowned out the negative energy that's out there, right? How you doing, Yvonne? It's my way. Good to see you. Yeah, welcome, Texas. Well, there's given people a choice. Why are they still pushing the digital ID? They're giving people a choice. You want to go to CBDC, which it's basically eradicated now. But you'll be, that's why I'm saying hold off, do not buy anything. You're going to receive your QFS, which is out there already. It's already attached to your birth certificate. It's already attached to all your cards and all that crap. And eventually all your cards and all that crap will go away. Your straw man is non-existent. It's in paper form or ID form only, but they're not using it. As long as you identify as a sovereign, whatever your name is, in upper and lower case. And that's why I said go out there and, get a bunch of cards made up. Get 250 cards. Or what is that going to cost you? $100, whatever. Who knows? But go out there and make those cards up. Get some nice graphic on the card, and put your name in there, upper lowercase. Put your email in there, and put maybe your phone number in there, and what city you're from. And that's who you are. Then you just claim yourself. It's really that simple. Why should we go back to the access or the government and say, hey, listen, I want permission. I need permission to go from my full capital letters, name, whatever, as my straw man. We don't need their position or their permission. It's like anything. We do not need. We are the captains here. Okay? We are the ownership of this planet. And it was been taken over and hijacked by a bunch of negative assholes. What kind of bond? Those are bonds, people. Those are, papers that were put into bonds, whether it be treasury bond or whatever, back in the day. I believe that they're going to be honored, through the investors that were there. But there's going to be many other things, like your 401k and your RRSPs and all that shit is going to be out the window, because they don't have it. You went and threw all that money into the RRSPs and the 401s, and they burned it. They blew it on their big yachts and whatever they were doing through their executive programs. These are all bankers that went and spent money they didn't have. And now they're going to pay for it because, Follow the money, right? Shadow Master and Just V and Jack Hogg, how are you doing? Should we sell our home at a loss? Yes. I mean, this is the way I look at it as a developer, okay? Are you going to lose the home? Is it going to slide in? I mean, or are you going to make payments on it? Or are you going to survive this until the end of this year? Can you survive till the end of this year? Because if you can, keep it. If you can't, then you gotta dump it. Dump it and free yourself from this bullshit. Or just if you want to, you can also stay there, make a claim, go into court, go to your courthouse, and stake a claim. Get all your paperwork from all your mortgages. Get all that paperwork from the bank that you borrowed the money from. Okay, get all that paperwork together, and then make copies of that. Go into the bank or go into the courthouse and make a claim, an affidavit claiming that this is predatory lending and there's stuff on here that I never signed on to. And stop making your payment. You stop making your payment, okay? Then and you put it into court, then it automatically freezes the mortgage. They cannot take you out of the home until this case is solved. And that could go 2 to 3 years. And by then, it's all going to be wiped out. I'm just telling you right now, Trump has brought down the banking, the old SWIFT system. It's all coming down. Okay? And that means worldwide. So if you're in England right now, you have to weigh out if you want to go over to my Facebook and go to Alex West, XX, and, friend me, and I'll message you. You message me on any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Okay? I can't do it here, but I can only do my lives, and, with saying that this is for entertainment purposes only, I encourage everybody to go out there and do their own research, but I'm always here to try to help as many people as I can. Okay? Should we cash out our 401? I would. Why are you giving? What happens if everybody cashes out the 401k, bro? What's going to happen, bro? Listen to me. Everybody cashed out. There won't be any money. Somebody is going to get left not having a chair to sit in. It's a pyramid scheme. I've been saying this for years. It's all pyramid scheme. It's the same thing with all the churches. It's all, the churches are for the weak, and I don't want to get down that road. They've been manipulated and brainwashed. All this is all going to come out. This is why the Galactics right now are spiritual beings. They had the freedom to build all their technology, which has advanced them almost 10,000 years in advancement. And they're trying to get that back to us that have been sitting. It's like we've been in a dungeon. Our planet's been in a dungeon, and we've been fed scraps and rats, and for eternity. You know what I mean? And we're going to be freed. Yes. Thank you for the. And I will get to the friends request. And if you got any questions, just go to Alex West XX, and I will friend you, and then you can ask me any questions you want, and that's anything to help you. Okay. And the reason I do this, because I've been effed over so many times by the system. I'm just so up to here with it. I'm done, finished, and I can't deal with it no more. And if there's any way I can help people that have not gone through the bullshit, I'm certainly going to be there. That will be bankruptcy for sure. What does bankruptcy even mean? What is that? You're being bankrupt in their system? Fine. Who cares? If you want to, go ahead. Start the proceeding, right? You're in their system. So, You don't want to be in their system, so let them bankrupt you, right? Then you're not going to be attacked by tax collectors or mortgage collectors or anything like that. You'll be basically free. It's giving you a free pass. Have your employees or employers stopped removing taxes? Tell me or tell them you will pay yourself. Exactly. It's the thing is about, you can go to your employers and ask them, I'll handle my own taxes. It's okay. I've got them covered because I'm under another, just tell them that you're under, you have another accountant and you'd like to do, they like to do your own taxes. And for all purposes, they should be quite obliging. They don't want to go through that extra paperwork. They just sooner give you a check and maybe have you sign a piece of paper that they've, you've been, they released the waiver over to you. This exactly is more hot daggers in the tax collector's eyes. Okay. How you doing, Cheryl? Taxes are illegal. Exactly. Yes, just flip it into silver. That's what I did. That's what I did. And now, like it says, and I believe that silver, they've suppressed it. They're trying to keep it down and manipulate it. But I believe that silver is going to skyrocket. It's going to be 4 digits here very, very soon. Everybody, all these technologies are moving into metals. Gold, silver, palladium, platinum, copper. Copper is really cheap right now, $6 a pound. One day it's going to be, $10, $15, $18 an ounce. All right. Anything along that line, you can make up your own coins. If you're into the, playing with metals and you're a bit of a welder or whatever, you'll know how to melt metal. Copper can be melted at, I believe, 1900 degrees. And that's all that is a propane tank and a torchy. So, put the metal in there and melt it down and stamp your own coin if you want. And that is, as soon as you do that, you don't even have to register it, because as soon as you do that, that is a store of wealth. Throw it in some hot water or throw it in some cold water and neutralize it, buff it up, shine it up. And there's your store of wealth. It's worth a lot more than your paper money that the Rothschilds gave you and your ancestors and your family, in the past. You know what I mean? That money, that paper that we have in our pockets, worthless. Mm-hmm. Love and light to you. Yeah, the 401ks and the RSPs, they have already spent your money. And it's like the banks right now. They have no money. If you got 200 grand or 100,000 because you just sold a house or some stupid thing in your bank, I would highly suggest you start taking it out. You can take it out, just go to your bank and ask them, say, I want my ATM daily amount to be raised 5,000 a day. Because they'll say, well, why do you want that? And just say, because I'm running a business. But it's none of your business. And then you do that. And then you just go back and start hitting the ATM and take out your 5 G's a day until your bank is down to, maybe $1,000, $2,000, and then just keep it alive. And then you got all that money to toss into, either go hide it, but I wouldn't hide it. I turned it into raw metal. I turned it into gold and silver. I mean, if you got that kind of money, you start buying gold. Gold's going to go to 25 G's. Silver's going to go to 12, 14, 1,500. Copper, right now, I mean, look at palladium. I mean, palladium used to be $200. Now it's 2,000. I mean, don't you see where this is going? And it's only going to get more expensive. May have more value to it because it's going to be highly needed going into this world of technology. We're leaving the industrial age, going into the world of technology. And apparently, the world of technology needs a shitload of metal. Electric cars, computers, satellites, solar systems. It just goes on and on. I see the writing on the wall. Yeah, churches are a deceit. They deceit everybody. Cash out 401ks and buy physical silver. Absolutely. Couldn't have said a better word myself. How you doing, Liverpool girl? Good to see you, dear. Cindy, how you doing? Most definitely, yep. Pope is bad. Well, it's all staged, and it's all being revealed right now. I'm not going to, point fingers to say who's bad or who's not. I'm trying to just paint a picture in a general form. I'm not going to, point any figure to anybody, any personal individual or whoever. That's not my job. My job is to, bring awareness to humanity so you're not getting screwed over anymore. Okay, how you doing, Billie Jean? Hey, Ruby. Hey, Ray. Oops. What we've been fed is the worse than rats. Yes, I know. I know what you're saying. And we've been in a dungeon. Just think of it as a Papillon, the old movie Papillon with Steve McQueen. That's where our life has gone, and they've got us to a point where we die early. But there is something about humanity that, and you see the character of Steve McQueen. He never stopped trying to escape through his whole life. He was set up, as we were all set up. He goes into, the French Polynesian prison, Papillon, right? And that's what it was. And, in his elder years, he, made some, airbags out of whatever it was. I think it was raincoats and whatever. And he swam off. He'd rather die a free man than die on his knees inside a prison. And this is where we're at right now, right? I know a spot behind the gym. Okay, it's not for me. It was for somebody else. What about NESARA GESARA? Well, that's already out. It's already happening. It's very active. So many people are losing everything. And you know what? They might be letting this happen. So you do lose everything. And you go through this pain or whatever because it was worthless to begin with. If you owe money on it, then you're going to lose it. They're trying to make you start from scratch. Start from scratch. Start over again because you're going to, when you go back to the bank, whenever that does happen, and your bank account's going to have a pile of money to it, and you're going to be turned aside, and you're going to have a new card given to you. You're going to have all this other stuff given to you, and it's going to be like night and day. It's like you just won the lotto, right? And you're going to, but they're going to read you the Riot Act before you are able to hit the ATM and start pulling money. They're going to be reading you the Riot Act. They know you are a good person. They just want to make sure that you just keep it quiet. How you doing, Gentle Storm? Miss Nurse, good to see you. Yeah. Hey, Moa. I hope this won't last for more years. No, it's not. This is going to be cleaned up this year. There will still be negatives, of course, on this planet for years to come, but they're going to be taken out. Like I said before, they have a website on TikTok now called Stalkers Canada. Now, Stalkers Canada is revealing all the pedos and other criminal architects behind a lot of unsavory operations that there is happening out there. And they're revealing them now. That's NESARA. Oh, I'm sorry, that's GESARA is being that. That is part of NESARA or GESARA being implemented, is the exposure of these criminal, I'm not going to go traffickers, let's say, okay? And I'm typing in there, basically putting a point in there, open season on these, because they should be all heading to heading to the YMCA or the train station, as far as I'm concerned. I want them all to go to the train station. Yes, I agree. I'm over the system of slavery. And that's what I mean. I mean, listen, I could have, I had sold everything because I seen it coming in 2012. I had properties based on my first marriage to a Filipina in the Philippines. But I went back in 2013, 6 months after my separation. And so I sold off everything, okay? I don't want to go down that road, but when I went back there, I knew based on the atmosphere down there that if they did have a tax on properties, that it would be very, very little. And I found out it's very, very little tax. It's about 7,000 pesos, which is about $140 a year on a 3-bedroom house, say, right? Okay. So it was easy for me to slap some money down there and have a place, home away from home, which I did. And that would be my winter retreat. And of course, you develop that and happiness and family and whatever. As soon as you got that money and security and feeling, you want to have children and stuff like that. So even at the age I was, what was I, 63, 64 when I had my little boy. So and it didn't bother me, because I knew that, things are more in a concrete, humane, not being a slave to what it was in Canada. That's why North America is falling apart. The society's falling apart is because of the environment that we live in here, the taxes and the food and it's absolute garbage. And, that's what we have to, we have to conquer it, and we have to take this enslave parasites away and take them out of the equation, and bring this country of Canada and the United States and other Western countries, bring them back to a state of freedom. My Facebook is Alex West XX. That's ALEXX West on Facebook. You'll see me and my woman and my little guy. I got a hat on. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's just one of those pictures that I kept there. People identify to it. And then, of course, you can friend me there and ask me any question you want over there, and I'd be happy to answer them. I try to get to that. I check it out at least once a day. So be patient. I will get to it, and I will get and I'll go to it right away as soon as I finish here. Okay. It's my way. I'm 70 now. Yeah, well, I know. I'm 71. I wanted to have those all cleaned up years ago, but, thank God, bless God that he gave me the opportunity and give me the intuition and the foresight to see the things that I was able to see. He's given me a very, very exciting life, and I'm happy for that. And I'm far from finished. With this technology coming out, gives me a breath of fresh air. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? These negatives that are on this site right now, let them come on. All they're doing is exposing. They're really having a bad day. They have a world of hurt inside, and they want, because they have, they're either sociopaths or narcissists. They want to, try to send it out to everybody else, and those negatives are going to be eradicated. Okay. They'll either be put into beds and all that shit will be sucked out of them, or they'll be sent elsewhere. Yeah, cut your cables. Thank you very much. I cut my cable, I believe it was just after 9/11, because I knew what was going on there. Yep. How you doing, Darren? I will get to you shortly. Yeah. How you doing, Asima and Mike and Pam? Yeah. Yeah, we have a great family. It's a look. I mean, look how many people are here. I mean, that's. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would be able to get this many people on board on my way of thinking of things, and it's just been a real pleasure, right? Yeah. Hey, Dana, Locke, and Talon, Jane, all good to see you. Renji, Cynthia. Bliss, you're really testing me. Hey, Frank J. TC. Yeah. Nanberry, and Rob, Kim. Okay, listen. I've done an hour and a half here. I will try to get to everybody tomorrow. And in the meantime, keep your head down. Keep your feet hot with all the solutions. Keep yourself detoxed. And we're going to be getting through this very, very shortly. Okay?